What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matz here, your host show of Metric Scout Fantasy Football, and I got a treat for you today. I'm dropping my top 50 wide receivers for PPR redraft leagues. I know a lot of you guys got drafts coming up, and I'm hoping to help you out with this. I'm an upside guy, so in the latter portion of these rankings, you're going to catch guys with a lot of upside, so I'm warning you on that because I like to shoot for the stars and see where I can get with some of these players. Also, if you like this video, if this video helps you out, and you want the running backs, you want the tight ends, you want the quarterbacks, drop me a like. 50 likes will get the 50 running backs out lickety split. I'll drop it in a few days, put out them rankings, do another video. And let me know if you like this video. Hitting that like button will tell me that. Also, if this video gets a lot of traction, I will do this weekly. Drop a top 30, 40, 50, whatever works well with my schedule. I will do that for each position group. Just let me know if this works out for you guys, if this is the content you want to see. But let's dig into this. Let's look at the top 50 wide receivers I got for redraft. So wide receiver number 1 is Justin Jefferson, and he's the number 1 wide receiver for a lot of people. It's very understandable. High upside play, and he's very safe. Going to get a large target share, going to get a lot of volume, and he's very efficient. He's the one top receiver that a lot of people are going on to. But the other guy I got here at number 2, he's the top guy for a lot of people as well, and that's because he had a big season last year. And number 2, I got Cooper Kupp. Obviously, last year he went gangbusters, and I'm expecting him to have another good season. I'm also expecting Justin Jefferson to have a good season. Nothing bad between those two. I like them both. If you like Kupp better, go ahead and draft him instead. I like Kupp. He's going to get a large target share. He's in a high-volume passing offense, and I expect him to continue to be good. My third wide receiver this year for redraft is Jamar Chase, and this guy's explosive. He makes plays downfield, gets a decent target share. I look for the Bengals to have a high volume passing offense. They may even pick it up and play rate a little bit, and that should all feed to Jamar Chase. He's got some competition for targets, but at the end of the day, he is the alpha and one of the best offenses in the league. Number 4, I got Stefon Diggs. I love Stefon Diggs. He's an older wide receiver, but he's a veteran, but he's a sticky route runner. He can create separation, and he is a candidate to get a 30+% target share this year. He always gets a large percentage of the targets, and he's in one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. Josh Allen loves to sling it to him, and Diggs is a bona fide stud at 4. I feel good about him, and I feel like he's being slept on a tiny bit when you consider him with the top wide receivers in fantasy this season. At 5, I'm going with CeeDee Lamb. A lot of people are down on him, and then there's also a lot of people that love him. It's a love-hate relationship, but what I like about CeeDee Lamb is he's in position to get as many targets as he wants. He's in position to get a huge target share. He's in position to just soak it up. As long as he creates separation, as long as he catches the ball downfield, as long as his offense is churning it out. The schedule for the Cowboys is more optimized for the passing game this year. They should be in some tighter game scripts. I look for CeeDee Lamb to do some big things, and just because he hasn't done it yet doesn't mean he can't do it this season. On to number 6 here, we are looking at Davante Adams for the Raiders. And a lot of people have Adams a little higher, and some people got him a little lower in their rankings. I feel comfortable having him here at 6 because I think Adams is going to transition well with the Raiders. He's there with Carr. Carr's going to sling it to him. I think he's going to steal a lot of target share. He's going to be a league dog. He's the alpha. He's going to continue to be the alpha until he ages out, and this season should be a good year for him. Moving on to 7, Mike Evans. Tom Brady's will be back this year. He's going to be slinging the rock. Evans is going to get those deep targets. He is trusty. He is reliable. He gets you the spike weeks. The only thing is he's older. Health concerns coming in. There is some downside there, but the spike weeks are key. Target share's key. Air yards are key for me with him. At 8, another Bengal, and I'm buying these Bengals, and it's T. Higgins. I love T. Higgins. I love his ability to make plays downfield, which is going to equate to air yards, looks at the end zone, and the Bengals are going to keep the offense flowing. And like I said with Chase, this offense might run at a little quicker pace than last year. It wasn't super fast last year, so if anything, due to variance, it could increase a little bit. But I see Burrow just slinging the rock. I see Higgins eating. I see Jamar Chase eating. I see Higgins making big plays in camp. Maybe I'll have some camp clips on him here in a few days. 9, Michael Pittman. I like Michael Pittman. I feel like he is in a spot where he can make a big jump. I think he's in a spot where, with better quarterback play, with Matt Ryan being there, this could allow him to ascend into with the top dogs, a wide receiver one with a lot of spike weeks. And I like Michael Pittman. Good target share numbers is going to be coming out this year. I look for him to get some air yards. I look for him to be targeted deep. All the good stuff, some end zone looks. I feel good about Michael Pittman this year. I'm very bullish. Number 10 here. And we're going with the trusty Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert slinging the rock, high volume passing offense. Keenan Allen's yards per route run has been dipping lately, year by year. However, he's going to be in those AFC West shootouts. He's going to be in plenty of shootouts. He's going to be the lead target hog on most of those games, and he should be a safe play with some upside. Let's go on to the next set here, and here we're going through 11 through 20 of this list. And the first player here we're going to be talking about is number 11 is Tyreek Hill, now with the Dolphins. And I'm a little bit low on Tyreek Hill. 1, he's older. 2, he's transitioning to a new offense. 3, he'll be with Tua. I mean, Tua's not bad. I like Tua. I've been getting him in a lot of leagues, and I'm actually kind of bullish on Tua. And I think Hill makes me bullish on Tua. However, he's not Patrick Mahomes. I like Patrick Mahomes because he can sling the rock. He's more accurate. He is probably one of the better quarterbacks that we'll probably see. I feel like Tyreek Hill might be in for a decline in production, like a small decrease, enough to put him in this range. And I feel like there should be some spike weeks, but I feel like, too, there might be some volatility here that we may not want to invest in. At 12 here, I got A.J. Brown, new team with the Eagles, but he's a stud wide receiver, still young. And there's a lot of volatility here where Jalen Hurts, where people are worried about him being able to spread the rock. I feel like Hurts might be leaning on him heavily this year. I feel like he may lock on the Brown. That is my feeling. I feel like Brown's going to get a good target share. Even with Devonta Smith, even with Goddard there, even with them using the running backs in the passing game, I feel like Brown's going to get a good target share. 25% easy, might push to 30. 22 to 25 is probably going to be the range, maybe even pushing to 27% target share, and he gets you yards after the catch because he's gangster with the ball in his hands, and he's very physical, and that's what I like about his game. The next wide receiver I'm going to be talking about at 13 is Deebo Samuel. I like him a lot. I loved him coming out for the drafts. I'm a little bit lower for him in redraft. There's a lot of transition in this offense for the 49ers. I like Lance. I like him a lot, but the volume in the passing game may not be there. It may be a slower-paced offense. He got a lot of yak yards last year. A lot of yak yards. That is not sticky for year to year. We need that to continue for him to be productive. I'm a little bit lower than most, but however, in some drafts, you catch him falling, and around this 13, 14, 15 range in wide receivers, you still may be able to snag him up, because I've been in some drafts where he fell around this area, and you're still able to draft him if you want him. 14, I got my man, DJ Moore, and I feel like this is going to be a good year for him. I feel like target share is going to be there, air yards is going to be there, and he's always sneaky productive. He just doesn't give you the big weeks you need because the touchdowns aren't really there. Baker Mayfield will be slinging the rock this year, so we should expect some change, some better targets coming his way, maybe more opportunity for him to grow into a larger role. I look for DJ Moore to be productive, to be consistent, and be a safe asset. And speaking at safe assets, at 15, I got Deontay Johnson. one of the top wide receivers last year in perception, reception, very fluid route runner, quick, assertive, gets the short to intermediate targets, but should get a decent target share. The veteran wide receiver in this group, and I look for him to have a decent year, and he's steady. He's steady with top tier wide receiver 2 numbers to low end wide receiver 1 numbers, and he doesn't really fall off unless he gets hurt. Injuries has been a big thing in his history with the Steelers. However, he is a consistent producer, and that's what I like about Deontay Johnson. And at this, where I got him ranked at, I feel like it's a palatable price point. At wide receiver 16, I have my man Courtland Sutton. I'm higher on him compared to a lot of people. I like this Denver Broncos offense. I like Russell Wilson there. I liked it when Courtland Sutton was healthy a couple years ago. I think it was like 2019-ish or whatever. And he was getting those air yards, getting those catches downfield. And air yards and target share is what I like to chase. I feel like that's going to happen for him big time this year. I feel like it's going to be Coors Field here in Denver, where Russell Wilson's going to be slinging the rock and Courtland Sutton's going to be getting those deep targets. At 17, I got one of my favorite wide receivers that I've ranked higher than a lot of other people, and it's Allen Robinson. He's in the Rams offense. He hasn't had a quarterback as good as Matt Stafford in his life. I want to see what happens here. I want to see what the target's going to be like, how the targets are going to look like, how deep they're going to be, if he's going to get those air yards. But I feel like the volume's going to perpetuate him. I feel like he has a chance to finish as a wide receiver 1, if not give you wide receiver 2 numbers with some high-end volatility, and I want that. And I'm jumping on high-volume passing offenses, and that's what the Rams got, and he's going to be one of their top target hogs. At 18, I got Terry McLaurin. I'm not really into the Washington Commanders offense, but if you're going to put a chip on somebody, it better be Terry McLaurin. He's going to get a large portion of the targets. He's steady. He is a very talented wide receiver, and I see Wentz looking his way often because why not? He is a steady, good wide receiver with speed, can get downfield, get open, she'll get air yards, and she'll get target share. I just don't like the passing volume in the offense. At 19, I have Chris Godwin. He's coming back from injury, but in this Tampa Bay offense, he is valuable. We saw him on clips of the highlights from training camp. He's looking good, looking healthy. He should be back early this season, if not week 1, looking good on the field, getting targets from Tom Brady. I'm willing to pay a little bit more compared to everybody else to get him on my team, because once he's out there running routes, he's going to be scoring fantasy points. He's going to have a good target share. He's going to be put in a position to be able to get the production that we need. At 20, I got my man Rashad Bateman. And I get it, the Ravens has a low volume passing offense. They like to run a lot. But I expected him to take a major leap forward in year 2. I look for him to see a large target share, minimum 20%. But I'm looking at more 25 to 30% target share. Mark Andrews is the main competition for targets. They do like to throw to the tight end a lot. Lamar Jackson staying healthy is going to be huge, because I look for Lamar Jackson to lock on to Rashad Bateman a lot this year. As long as Rashad Bateman's on the field, as long as Lamar Jackson is on the field, I look for Rashad Bateman to produce in a major way, and I look for him to be a safe asset as well in fantasy. Moving on to my set from 21 to 30 in his ranks. At 21, I got Jalen Waddle. I'm a shade lower compared to everybody else. I do like him more for Dynasty. Redraft-wise, with these 2 Dolphins wide receivers, with Hill and Waddle, I just want to see what's going on with them. I want to see what the target distribution is going to be like, what the air yards are going to look like, what the volume is going to look like in this offense, because everything is completely different. I want to see how Tua transitions in this new offense. So I'm a little conservative with Waddle. As a player, as a prospect, I like him. I love the speed. I love the short area quickness. And I love how he can get that yak. If everything aligns, I could see him being a wide receiver 1 this year. But I am a little conservative. Moving on to 22, I have Mike Williams. A lot of people are higher than him than I am. And some people are fading him a little bit, because Mike Williams also has this long portion of his career where he didn't do much. Mike Williams, though, is in a very good offense, Justin Herbert slinging the rock, high volume passing offense with high acuity targets going his way. Everything should look good. He's in line to have a big season. We may even see him usurp Keenan Allen, especially in some games, because he's going to be getting the deeper targets. I like Mike Williams this year. I think I got him in a nice spot where I'm not too overzealous, but I'm not overly conservative as well. At 23 this season, I got DK Metcalf. I feel like I'm a little low on him, but I'm also very conservative with this offense. I don't know what this is going to look like. They might be fighting for the first pick in the draft this year, or they might surprise us. I love DK Metcalf because he can blow up, but I feel like he's going to be a volatile wide receiver with a lot of upside, but there's also going to be some down points during the year. But since he's very talented, that upside is going to be captured at least a few times this season. I am very conservative when it comes to drafting him, though, this year. At 24, I'm going with one of my favorite players of all time, and that's Brandon Cooks. He's steady Eddie. He's productive wherever he's at, and I look for him to get a good target share this year. 20% minimum, 22, 23, 25%-ish, and getting those air yards, getting targeted deep downfield. Should be productive on a week-to-week basis, giving you steady wide receiver 2 numbers with some good wide receiver 1 weeks here and there sprinkled in. But I like Brandon Cooks because he does give you that upside, because he's got that speed, that short area quickness. He gets those air yards, and the target share is going to be there with him because he is the alpha in that offense. At 25, I got Marquise Hollywood Brown, and I'm chasing air yards here. I'm chasing those deep targets. I'm chasing those spike weeks. That's what Hollywood Brown gives you. And with DeAndre Hopkins out, we should see him in the start of the season get a larger target share than expected, and those deep targets is going to elevate him even more, especially if him and Murray can connect on those. At 26, I got Juju Smith-Schuster, and I love that he went to Kansas City. This is a good match between him and Mahomes. Best quarterback he's ever been in. Very explosive offense. He's been making plays in camp, and with him being on this new team, with him being with Andy Reid and company, he is in position to excel. He could sneak away with wide receiver 1 numbers this season. At 27, I got another guy who could ascend and could be more productive than what I got him ranked at. I actually like him. I've been drafting him in a few drafts, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I feel like I'm low here. My gut right now as I'm talking feels like he should be a shade higher. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had a good end to last season. I really want him to have a larger sample of that for me to feel like I can go all in, but we're also in this skeptical range of wide receivers where we can make cases to why they could fall or go higher in the ranks as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown's one of them. We could be blown away this year. He could be a major target hog. He could be getting yak. He gets those short to intermediate targets, which are valuable because those add up if the quarterback looks your way, which I believe Goff will. And if Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to be productive like he was last year, we are going to look at him as a major value in drafts in 2022. At 28, I got Michael Thomas, and I'm very skeptical because I just saw the news of the hamstring just before I started shooting this video. My feelings on him is I might kick him down lower on these rankings, so do not look at this rank and be like, yeah, this is good. This is where I should draft him at. Be skeptical on him. I feel like a few days ago, before we got that hamstring news, this would be a good area because I feel like him and Jameis Winston are going to connect well. Winston pushing it his way, but if he's not healthy, or if we're going back to him not being on the field again, it's going to be a major travesty. But if he's healthy on the field, he could be a sneaky play this season. At 29, I got Darnell Mooney, and if Michael Thomas starts the season off injured, if he's not on the field, I definitely have Darnell Mooney ahead of him. And I feel like I'm a little bit low on Darnell Mooney, but it's really hard to push him up much higher. These guys in this range here are very close together for me. What I like about Darnell Mooney is he is the main target hog on this offense. He should be getting the targets, and he's got the speed to get them air yards, so he's going to have splash weeks. Justin Fields is going to be looking his way. What I hate about Darnell Mooney is this offense might be atrocious, might be a low volume, slow offense, especially in the passing game. Slow offenses have less plays ran. Less plays ran equates to less fantasy points because less plays mean there's less opportunities. But I like Darnell Mooney. I love the talent. I think he's a good player. At 30, I got Elijah Moore, wide receiver for the Jets. Crazy things are going on in New York right now. Zach Wilson's hurt. Don't know exactly when he'll be back, but this offense is very skeptical right now, especially with Flacco back there. But I still like Elijah Moore. He is a very good route runner. He should increase his target share this year. He gets yards after the catch. Garrett Wilson's also there. I love Garrett Wilson as well, but Moore is the veteran in the offense. He's also proven that he can be somewhat productive, and he looks like he can take a step forward, and I'm willing to bet on that. Moving on to our next set, 31 through 40. And the first player here at 31 is Amari Cooper. I've loved Amari Cooper throughout his career. Drafted him a lot as a rookie in rookie drafts and Dynasty. Supreme route runner. One of the best route runners in the league. Very underrated. But the Browns, this is a low volume passing offense that's going to be slow. Opportunities are not going to be there with him as with other wide receivers who are more explosive offenses with better quarterback play. We might see him increase his production in the back end of the season when Watson comes back. But by that time, it might be too late if you're paying a premium for him. That's why I'm a little bit lower on Amari Cooper. At 32 this year, I have Drake London. This is where I'm taking my shots. I'm taking my shots from here on out. So you're going to see some strange plays come up here. And top-end rookies, I like to take shots on, especially in an offense where they could be the wide receiver one. It's going to be him and Pitts getting the majority of the targets. You might get some Patterson sprinkled in there, but Drake London has the chance to excel this season and be sneaky good, and that may take a few games to get through, but I feel like Drake London has the upside in his game to help us out in fantasy and could be a sneaky play, and I'm looking at upside over safety net here because the floor's all right and all, but I really want to get those players and get me over the hump because I can find that floor week to week off my waiver wire. At 33 here, I got Jerry Jeudy. I'm a shade lower on him than consensus, but I got some other guys bumped up a little higher. But I like Jerry Jeudy. I love this Denver Broncos offense. I want to invest in it. I like Russell Wilson. Jerry Jeudy goes a little bit higher in drafts because a lot of people want to invest in the Broncos. A lot of people want to invest in the AFC West. I like Jeudy, especially with Tim Patrick out of the picture. More targets are going to go his way. He can be very productive this year in fantasy. At least get you borderline wide receiver 2 numbers, if not higher. Maybe even be a wide receiver 1. Good route runner. Could get a decent target share because it's him and Sutton. We could see him with a 20% or more target share because he may just target just him and Sutton on the majority, which means we're going to get 2 good wide receivers coming out of this offense. I like Jerry Jeudy very much this season. At 34, I'm shooting for upside a little bit here, and I'm hoping that his collegiate profile starts kicking into gear, and I'm talking about Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith's a very good route runner. He's got speed. He's explosive. Jalen Hurts slinging the rock scares a lot of people, but I'm a shade higher than consensus because he's going into year 2. We're talking about a former Heisman Trophy winner who was very productive at Alabama, who had some good games last year as a rookie. Now we're into his second season. We should see him take a step forward. Also has A.J. Brown on the other side of the field. It's going to take a lot of heat off him, and he could have some spike weeks. And when we're here around the 35-40 range, we also want to look for wide receivers who are not just like kind of consistent, but also can deliver spike weeks in those games where the game script starts to blow up and A.J. Brown's being covered. Devonta Smith could get some targets here that could really elevate his game in some of those plus matchups. At 35, I got Kadarius Toney. He's not my favorite wide receiver in the league. I'm not super in love with his talent, but he did do some good things on the field last year. He did have some spike weeks. He did get some games where he had a lot of targets. And if he has a full season where he's healthy and if he's taking a step forward, We could see him have some good games this season. And where we're at with wide receiver 35, I still think that's a good value for a former first-round pick to take a step forward. At 36 here, I got Treylon Burks. A lot of people are down on Treylon Burks. This seems very high for Treylon Burks, but there's not much competition for targets here. So once he starts seeing the field, that target share should be rather large. And another thing, the yards after catch is huge with this guy. I see him getting a lot of yak when he is getting targeted. Big physical wide receiver who's got the speed after the catch to get it done. And I like yak when it comes to wide receivers. Another first-round pick with upside here that could ascend our fantasy teams. At 37, though, I got Adam Thielen, old, trusty. He can give us some wide receiver 1 weeks. We should expect more passing volume in this Vikings offense. He is the wide receiver 2 there. Should get some targets. I got him here ranked conservative at 37. At 38, I got our boy George Pickens, another rookie wide receiver, but this guy's got upside. Everybody's loving him right now. His value's through the roof. One thing I'm questioning, though, is the Pittsburgh offense. How's the targets going to be distributed? How's the passing volume going to look like? What's the tempo of the game going to look like with these new quarterbacks under center with Mitch Trubisky and company? I love the talent of George Pickens, and he is one of my favorite upside plays this season. At 39, Brandon Ayuk. I think he's a very talented player. I think he can get it done if the targets are coming his way. I'm just not in love with this 49ers offense. I think this is going to be a slow-paced offense. I think the passing volume is going to be skeptical. Then you got to also think about Deebo Samuel and Kittle getting targets. So there's a lot of competition for targets with questionable volume. At 40, I got Christian Kirk, new Jaguars wide receiver. Changed the market with his contract. I think he's going to get a good target share. I think he's going to get a lot of looks from Lawrence. I think he has the potential to exceed expectations. But I also see the Jaguars and the passing offense being a little bit slower than expected. I see ETN eating into the target share. I see him probably sitting around like a 20-ish% target share. Maybe some weeks where it's like 17, 18, maybe a 20 to 22%-ish target share by the end of the season once you count everything together. I feel like there could be some spike weeks considering volume and target share. And I feel like he could exceed expectations, but it might be volatile. Now we're moving on from 41 to 50 here. Our last set of receivers. And the first guy we're going to be talking about is Alan Lazard. You may want to put Romeo Doubs here first, or Dubs, or whatever you want to call him. Flip those guys if you like him. I like Doubs too. This Packers offense is very intriguing to me. I don't know who's going to emerge as the main guy. Lazard, throughout the offseason, been kind of high on him. Even though my ranking here is a little bit lower compared to a lot of people, I still feel like the Packers offense is something to invest in. I think Lazard could have an all right season. I feel like he's a guy that could deliver a lot of spike weeks. Next is DeAndre Hopkins. It feels weird ranking him at wide receiver 42, but he's going to be missing some time. When he comes back, his target share is going to be questionable because Marquise Hollywood Brown's going to be there. I look for him to have a large portion of targets, but his days of getting a 30% target share might be done. Fantasy relevancy-wise, could be a solid wide receiver too. Could be like the old vet who's starting to slow down. I don't know. I feel like wide receiver 42 in the rankings is a good shot. I think some people are going to draft him a little higher than that, though. At 43, I got Tyler Lockett. Speed guy, gets air yards. Questionable quarterback plays here in Seattle. Offense is going to be very questionable. We got some injuries already going on in the offense. I may even bring him down these ranks. I may even bring him outside the top 50. I'm not totally in love with him. But what I do like about him is he has the ability to give you those spike weeks, usually like 2 or 3 a year, that can really help you out. Honestly, now that I'm looking at him, though, I can take him outside my top 50 and bring somebody else in who's just as questionable but has more upside. At 44, I got one of my favorite rookie wide receivers, and that's Sky Moore. And he is a very interesting wide receiver prospect because he could go nuclear or he can just be your usual rookie producer. But he's in a very good offense. Patrick Mahomes slinging the rock. Juju Smith-Schuster should be the wide receiver one there. He does have some competition for targets. They are moving him around the offense. You see him taking carries out of the backfield, moving in the slot, the outside. He's got speed to burn. Very questionable play here, but he has upside for days, and he could step in and be a producer year one here as a rookie. The downside is he's a rookie. He could produce like a rookie, and that could happen very much so with Sky Moore. But with Sky Moore being in an optimal offense, we're taking the gamble here. And we're taking a gamble on another rookie here at 45, Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert's in a very good situation. Michael Gallup still hurts. We saw him in the highlight clips the other day that I posted, him working out. But Michael Gallup's going to start the season slow. Jalen Tolbert's in line to see targets, and he may be like the third option in the passing game. But still, in this offense, that could equate to fantasy points. We're in the 40s here in our wide receiver rankings, so it's not like we're spending a lot for him. He's going to be a late-round pick in your drafts, but he's a guy I'm looking at. Because he has a very good collegiate profile, can get downfield, make plays happen, and he's got the opportunity to succeed this season as a rookie. At 46, I got Jakobi Meyers. This guy is a very underrated wide receiver. You can usually catch him late in drafts. Gets good touchdown numbers, good target share, low volume passing offense though, which might pick up with Mac Jones having more experience in the offense. But Jakobi Meyers is a guy that you can snag late in drafts that could give you some production. At 47, I am going with Jahan Dotson, yet another rookie. I know I'm rookie heavy here in the back end. I told you I'm an upside guy. Jahan Dotson is a guy that could flash on us. And when we're here late here, we're around the 50 spot. We want to go for upside here just in case that player hits. The wide receiver 50 range here, those are players that we should be willing to dump if something happens on the waiver wire. So if he's not hitting instantly or if it's week 6, then I'm willing to cut bait, ignore the sunk cost, and move on. He's another late round pick in drafts that you're just swinging on to see what happens. At 48 here, we got Gabe Davis. A lot of people love him. I'm a little low on him because he has not given us the sample size that we need. He's had like a few games of production, but he is in a good offense. He has proven in the preseason this year that he can get those deep targets and make those big plays, and he can make big plays happen. Josh Allen slinging the rock downfield all over the yard, high volume passing offense. I bet he's going to be a volatile wide receiver with some big spike weeks. I like him better than Tyler Lockett. I like him maybe better than Jahan Dotson and Jakobi Meyers due to his situation. So I would flop him up a little higher in these rankings if I had to re-rank this now. I like Gabe Davis, though, and the perspective if you don't have to pay much for him. If he goes high in your draft, just let the guy draft him. Don't worry about it. Move on to your next pick. A lot of people are overvaluing him, but if you catch him at the right value, he can be a good asset for your fantasy team. At 49, I got Tyler Boyd. And what I like about him, he's on the Bengals. If something happens to Chase or Higgins, this guy's going to be producing. He is like the handcuff to those two wide receivers. And standalone, he has value because in plus matchups and in random games, he will give you wide receiver 1 numbers, high-end wide receiver 2 numbers because he'll get those touchdown looks. He'll get those games where they'll just pound the slot, or he'll get softer coverage than the other two, and those opportunities will be there. He's a guy that you may want on the back end of your roster because if something happens to Chase or Higgins, you got yourself a wide receiver 1 there. You got your guy to put in your flex. Tyler Boyd's no joke. At 50 here, my last guy in the rankings, I got Chris Olave. I wanted to push him higher, but I was just trying to make reasons, but I wanted to make sure he got in here. With Michael Thomas hurting, and I don't know what it's going to look like. This is fresh news. I kind of want to bump him a shade higher because who else is going to get the targets other than him and Jarvis Landry? I feel like he's going to push some targets this season. He's going to get the opportunity to produce. He may not give you high-end wide receiver 1 numbers, but he could get you good rookie numbers. And at wide receiver 50, I think that's a good value, and he's getting drafted around that range in drafts. maybe a shade higher, maybe a shade lower in some drafts, but I feel like a wide receiver 50, it's a good, safe price point to get Chris Olave. I feel like that's a good ranking. And plus, I want to rank him higher. So I have him valued in my heart higher than wide receiver 50. It was just hard trying to get him up there. But that's it. Those are my top 50 wide receivers. Those are going to change off and on, but they're going to be very minor changes throughout the offseason. But again, if this helped you out, make sure you smash that like button and let me know. And 50 likes, and I'll drop my top 50 running backs. The quicker you get me to those 50 likes, the quicker I'll get that video out, because you're letting me know that these videos are needed. When I look on YouTube, I'm seeing top 20, top 10, top 15, wide receivers, running backs, whatever. I figure I'd go a little deeper and just free-ball my analysis, because I've been studying these guys all off season. So here it is. And the further I get along on this, the more I do these, the better I'll get at these top 50 lists. And if you guys like the top 50 lists here for the positions, I will do them every week throughout the season to help you guys out. So make sure you hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel. And I'm dropping fantasy content left and right, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 vids a day. Working hard on the channel. But I want to thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.